Alright, let's dive right into this episode of Dragon Ball Daima. We're immediately thrown into the chaos, aren't we? Our heroes, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Trunks, and even Bulma, are suddenly tiny kids tumbling through this bizarre, fiery red sky. And it's clear there's a puppet master behind this mess. This short but sinister emblazoned character is sitting on a throne, demanding a full-on attack. It's quite something. Laser fire instantly begins to rain down on them, and we get to see the heroes using whatever means at their disposal to maneuver this nightmarish terrain. Piccolo's guiding the kids, doing his best to keep them in check, while the others, those Saiyans, they're just letting the energy rip. It's chaos out there with what feels like an endless parade of goons and flying drones, zapping them with energy blasts and tracking missiles, a true test of skill and agility. The intensity is ramped up. Vegeta is carrying Bulma, of course, protecting her, and you can see he's not impressed about his size. His pride is clearly stung. Goku is flying, showing off his moves even as a kid. His fighting instincts are sharp as ever. The camera pans to our main villain, just watching this chaos unfold, completely unfazed as his soldiers blast everything that moves. The camera pans back to our heroes. They find a small reprieve and group to assess their situation. They need a plan. The action immediately resumes, and we see a wave of baddies charging at the heroes, pushing them back. The battle has shifted to a new gear. We see the group dodging lasers and projectiles, each burst of energy putting a strain on the young bodies of our heroes. Vegeta takes a hit. It's a brutal moment, and just when he's seemingly down, Goku pulls off a last-minute save. That's one of those classic moments where you're happy to see Goku pull his weight. As Vegeta falls, Goku snatches an unusual object, a small, bug-like thing. This adds another wrinkle in the plot, and the audience has to know what it is. Our heroes are surrounded. The odds are not looking good. The energy waves are starting to feel overwhelming. Piccolo is doing his best to guide and protect everyone, but the enemies are becoming more challenging. Goku grabs his power pole and sends it toward a squadron of drones, each hit landing squarely on the mark. It's a flash of brilliance on his part, a strategic move, and shows the true ingenuity of this classic fighter. However, it's still a challenge. With wave after wave of baddies, they just seem to be endless. But as fast as the heroes come up with strategies, the villains launch new attack waves, and they appear to gain a new advantage as the kids are being worn down. The action becomes frenzied. The episode crescendos as the battle continues. We see that our characters, although smaller, aren't going to back down. Vegeta pulls through his anger and frustration and tries his best to battle the onslaught. However, it's just not enough. The enemies are landing too many hits. Goku lands another big blow using his staff, and more of the drones are knocked out. Just as the battle reaches a peak, all the enemies are sucked into a vortex. The sudden break from fighting allows the heroes and the audience to breathe. It's a moment of calm before the storm, and all the characters need it. We see the main villain again, now watching his goons disappear from his large monitor, looking frustrated and angry. His gaze is drawn to the small, bug-like object in Goku's hand. And the tension escalates even more. The tiny tyrant seems desperate for this object and orders another wave of attacks towards our heroes. And this time, there are new machines joining the battle. As the action picks up, a barrage of attacks and counterattacks explodes. Goku once again proves his prowess, but he's taking too many hits. The action continues and things feel close, but then we see Goku's power level begins to increase as he unleashes a transformation, and once again uses the power pole as a powerful weapon against his attackers. As he strikes the robots, the pole extends, creating a shockwave. It's an awesome display. Vegeta and the others are doing their best, trying to stay in the fight as well. We see their individual skills and abilities, but it's a huge team fight. Just when things look like they may stabilize, they don't. The enemies are relentless and won't quit. Finally, Goku takes a huge hit. And just as things look dire, Goku's power levels begin to rise. As the episode takes a new turn, the villain is shown to have been after the third eye, a mysterious and potentially powerful item, and now it's in the hands of our heroes. Now the real fun begins. We then see more and more enemies charging at our heroes, more tanks and drones, and a new set of laser beams is targeted towards our location. It's clear that our heroes have to dig deep. This battle sees Goku go Super Saiyan. His skills as a fighter are incredible, but even he is taking some hits. It's a true show of strength. It then shifts to Vegeta, who is working alongside the team to push through. He is clearly becoming more comfortable with their miniature forms and is learning to deal with his anger. The episode concludes, and just as the fight seems to be ending, the main villain is shown to be observing everything from his control panel, and then a new wave of robotic drones is deployed, and they become the new targets of our heroes. We are once again on the edge of our seats as the heroes are getting more comfortable in their smaller forms, and using teamwork, they are able to get the drones to start working to their advantage. The battle is still raging, and the attacks are relentless. And just as our heroes start to get an upper hand, we cut back to the villain on his throne as he continues to watch the fighting, now with a look of pure desperation in his eye. He wants something. He makes one last command for his troops to engage, and the drones begin to unleash some new abilities. And we know the fight's far from over. This takes us to the climax of this intense battle, and we are left wondering what will happen to these young heroes. The episode ends with the ominous realization that the third eye isn't something they should have, and that this tiny group of heroes is up against more powerful opponents than ever. The villain has a new level of desperation and will stop at nothing. And that takes us to the end of this action-packed episode. With the heroes battered and bruised, they are getting closer to their goal, but at what cost? Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.